Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Drew Bentley Guitar. Today we're going to talk about some caged system stuff. I know you all love the caged system. The lesson today is to try to look at how to move the major scale through caged, and we're going to do that on the high E string. So here is your C major scale, starting with C here, then D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, etc. So all right. So what we're going to do is take a look at our 5 caged forms and see if we can move that scale on that string through these chords. This is a great exercise to do to learn how to play chord melody. And eventually, the goal is to do this on all the strings. And then not just through one chord, but then through all the chords in the key, etc., etc. And then we can continue to build on that with lessons in the future, but this is a good way to get started. So here's our C chord. If you look at the top 4 strings only, I'm doing a string grouping of 4, 3, 2, 1. The top string, so it's like a C chord without the A string. The next one looks like this. That's the C we always play, like here. Instead, I'm going to do this. So this is A here and C up here. So it's the same chord form we always play down here with A, moving it up to a C. So what I want to do with the scale is this. I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to bar across F note at the top because that's part of the scale. And then I'm going to add my little finger on G because I'm going. So I kind of skipped this one, I guess, but I'm not really worried about that string at the moment. So here's this one, and then here. So what I want to do now is shift over to my A form, like this, and catch that note here. So there's a shared note. This note here and this note here are going to be shared because they work for both positions, that and this. So what I'm going to do next is bar my 3rd finger, to play a 6 chord like this. Here now I have this. Here's this, and here, here. Then I can catch this one here and then here. So then, again, there's a kind of a doubled up sort of situation here. I call it like apartment building walls, shared borders, I guess you could say. This A form of the caged system is neighboring to the G form of the caged system. They kind of work together like that. So what I'm going to do now is, since I just played this one, I'm going to move my 1st finger instead, and do the same thing, but catch the note with that, and then continue on through the scale to there, and then to here. So now I have played the entire scale in 1 octave, and I'm attaching chord forms to it. It's pretty cool. This is a huge deal. I mean, it's really hard to illustrate how important this is when you want to play interesting rhythm guitar parts, or like I said, chord melody, where you move the melody through the chords, or even just to make things more interesting when you're playing in a band and you don't want to play Brown Eyed Girl the same way for the 10,000th time. You can mix and match stuff and make it fun for yourself. And it's more interesting for the audience. Plus, it's better, too, when you're playing in a live situation, because sometimes you have to fit yourself in a different way. Like if you're playing the acoustic guitar by yourself, and that's your entire gig, you know, your guitar can be huge and big because it's just you. But if you're playing in an ensemble setting where you have like trombone, trumpet, saxophone, keyboards, piano, maybe a 2nd guitar even, you gotta get smaller. You gotta fit into smaller spaces. So the more you can learn these little triad shapes and learn how to move notes through them, the more interesting your parts can be and the smaller you can get, which is not a bad thing. So now we had this chord. E form of caged is going to be neighboring to the G form right here. So I'm going to pick that same note up here as here. Now I'm picking the note up here instead. So this is this. Now I could go this direction and grab the major 7 there, but that's maybe for a different time. I'm going to add the D note at the top now like this. So now I have this. I'll start from the beginning. I'll stand up and show you this. So it goes like this. And then the F note was like this. And the G note. Oh, I forgot how heavy this guitar is. A form like this. Pick the G note up back there. I'm borrowing this and catching the A note at the top with my third finger. Shift to my first finger to grab that same note, and I can add the major 7 there, and then there's the root. I'm going to shift again to the E form, add the D note here. If I decide to keep going further forward, here's my C form of caged, right? Like that. I'm going to catch this D note at the top of this chord. So add 9, and then go like this, and then go like this, and then I'm up to the C. So I've covered the entire spectrum of that scale through the caged forms in C. Takes a little time to learn all these, and I would spend some time on this video and just kind of slow it down and go over the parts. This is a really big deal to learn how to do this. Here's the E form, then the D note, shifting to the D form, catch the D note here at the top like this, and then there's the regular D form, and then there's the F note. Actually, maybe like that, suspension, and then C again. I've made my way all the way from here up to there. So in the caged lesson sequence, I go through the caged playlist and start with the first one. The first like 5, I think, or 4 are definitely in order for how to memorize this. Work on the Learn the Fretboard videos too. That's also a good precursor to this. But this is can help you move melodies around. I mean, so many songs do this. Moving notes through that chord. So you can jam with it too. Doing the same thing. That makes some music with that same concept. All C chords so far. All C, and all just moving the notes through the high E string. All right, well, thank you so much for hanging out today and watching this lesson. I'll put more caged videos on to start to explore how to move those scales through the chords. It's a really big deal. You want to get these under your belt. All right, thanks so much.